I'm sitting with Bonsai Shongwe. He is a pastor, also political commentator, and he just does a lot of things. He's an entrepreneur, also does motivational speaking, is a coach helping businesses grow, and but he does a phenomenal work commenting on politics, and his channel has really been growing the last few months. He only started 3 months ago, and it is already on almost 40,000 subscribers. But I want him to share with us tonight. He's going to touch on areas that I want to push him on, such as BEE. He believes BEE is a scam. I want him to open up on that, on ideologies, on what his experiences is in the country, what his experience is specifically working with businesses and finances and raising entrepreneurs up and their experience in the country. So don't want to miss this. I want everybody on right now. Do me a favor, press the thumbs up button. Press the like button on YouTube. I know some people, we have about 20% of our audience watches on television. Take the remote, move to the 3 dots, just press the thumbs up, subscribe, or like this broadcast. As you guys liking the broadcast right now, we're going to see the numbers beginning to go up. And I want you to be sticking like glue with this conversation. Maybe at the end we'll open up for questions and answers or so. But I want you to stick to really focus on this conversation. Share this broadcast as far and wide as you can. We need to get the truth out. We need to get media out that's not propaganda, that is not fake. So as you know, on this show, I'm getting guests in all the time, different guests. It's not focused on a political party. I'm not focused on one biased view, but I want us to have conversation about what is happening in South Africa and where we are at as a nation, and what is the state of a nation and what is the future. So before going ahead, I want you guys to get into this conversation. Press the thumbs up button for us. Let me know in the comments quickly more. Let me know how many of you are watching and where are you watching from. I want us to get into this right now. Bonsai.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming today.
What a pleasure. Thanks for inviting me.
And I've been watching a lot of your videos. Obviously, there's not a lot of center-right. I would assume center-right viewpoint. I know we're not radical right-wings, and a lot of times people misunderstand that. They think if you're center-right, you're radical right now, which is not the case. But I think just looking at truth and not propaganda. I came up on your channel a few months ago, and I saw that you're a political commentator, but I also saw that you are a pastor and in ministry or so. Well, I wanted to ask you, before we get into the deep stuff today, what's your background? Where do you come from? And then how did you get into ministry and into political commentary or interest into politics? So
my dad was an International Assemblies of God pastor. Okay, so I was born we stayed in the mission house back then. Mm-hmm. So I was literally born in a church building, almost, at Baragwanath Hospital, Soweto. Mm. Then my dad got filled with the Holy Spirit, so that got us kicked out. Oh. So then he started a new ministry back then. And so then I grew up in Soweto, but then we went to a mission trip so we stayed in Germany for a while. YWAM, because my dad was then got involved with YWAM, then moved to the UK, then came back to Soweto for a while. So I grew up as a pastor's kid, so that meant I played music as well.
Okay.
So then I became a musician because of the piano in the church. Fast forward, when I finished school, then I went and did a bit of serious study, and then I went and did music. Mm-hmm. And then started a record company in the music industry. Okay. Doing Kwaito. Now, all along, have always operated as a speaker. So I've been speaking to companies, youth groups, and churches and stuff. Now, then I set up a record company called Bonsai Entertainment, discovered and made stars, right? So
yes.
Some of them are still popular till today. All of them, pretty much, actually.
Okay.
So because of my work with entrepreneurship, I started feeling the impact of every single policy passed in South Africa since 1994. has been anti-entrepreneurship.
Definitely. And anti-capitalism.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Anti-business.
Yes.
And so anti-freedom, actually, right? So I actually realized, whoa, I'm becoming less free. I've got to, jump over a hoop. And every year I realized, okay, now it's 2 hoops, now it's 3 hoops.
Yes.
And I guess at some point I started paying attention, like, I think somebody out there doesn't like me very much, right? They don't like that I hire people. They don't like that. By the grace of God, I think with the work that I do between 1999 and say late 2000s, because of the work I do, I've had at least 10 people go from completely lower class, as in poor, to wealthy, right? Permanently.
Yes.
And at least 100 people to middle class.
Okay.
Right? And I mean from nowhere to just being there. And at some point I thought, why would it be difficult for me to do that? Because the government literally spends all their time every day saying, how do we stop
people from prospering?
So then I because of all of that, I realized, oh no, I think at some point you messing with my business. Okay, maybe I should start messing with your business. And their business, of course, is anger, right?
Yes.
They sell anger for a living. They sell envy for a living. And they sell resentment for a living.
Yes.
And now what you literally have is a country where the people who sell services or goods or whatever it is for a living are now fighting against the people who sell anger for a living.
Yeah.
And so that's where South Africa is right now, right?
And I want people to understand that all these red tape, bureaucracy and regulations is not only against whites, it's affecting everyone.
Actually,
there is, obviously, we got the BEE law, we have those things, but it's affecting the economy of the country. It's the regulations is for every business there.
Actually, what we miss is that because South Africa is majority black, especially on the lower spectrum of the economy, BEE affects more black people than any other race. So BEE is actually a black poor robbing strategy by black elite. So what you do is you sell anger to whoever can buy it, and unfortunately the people who will fall for it the most are the poor. And they happen to majority be black. So BEE is how you rob
the poor
black shack dwellers.
Come on.
And drive a Rolls Royce.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that benefited only 100 families. We know around about 100 families.
Yeah, and I mean, that's a small measure because that's only measuring the BE deals at the top. 1 trillion amongst 100 families.
100 families.
So here's an interesting thing in South Africa. Tell me one black centimillionaire in South Africa after about 2000 who is not linked to politicians.
And politicians.
Yeah.
Of course.
There isn't one.
In answering you with that, one of the guy that's supposed to be, that's working with us behind the scenes, one of my pastors, he's just on holiday. He runs our broadcasting. He said to me, we were talking about, I said to him, because I'm looking at the decisions that the president was making, and I'm like, you're either doing it on purpose or you are very, very uneducated. Okay, so that was my conclusion. So I said, Google, what is the IQ of our president? Google was not favorable towards him. Okay, but before I got the answer, my pastor said, no, look, he's very intelligent because he's a billionaire. I said, you're not intelligent to be a billionaire. That's political connections. That's networking, and it was given to him. We know that. McDonald's shares was given. MTN shares was because the people had to at that time. And who best for somebody that is that is opted to be president, and we know that's been planned for many years beforehand. So, there isn't one, because it doesn't empower people with skills. It also doesn't empower people with merit. It just gives, a fish a day, not teach somebody how to fish. That's what I believe.
Yeah.
And then obviously you have the fronting going on. You have everybody that they're going to eventually find out survival skills with BEE, which has been happening. So they trick more people out of empowering. It's just a mess. You know?
It is. I think the biggest damage of BEE has been the moral downgrading. BEE is such, and it's such a difficult deception to get people to see, because if you tell someone this is in your favor, right, by nature, then people think, oh, great, this is on my side. And if you add that with, and that guy doesn't want you to have it, well, then you have a winning formula.
Yes.
But I think the horrible thing about BE is the moral degrading on purpose of black people, right? So I will not do a BE deal because I'm saved and I have self-respect. So if you had called me here and you said, I'm going to have a conversation with you, and I'm definitely going to do it because you black. I would have said, see you next month, right?
Yes.
Because
it's
horrible.
It is insulting.
Oh, yeah.
I think it is very insulting. It's okay. You're not here because of your merit. You're here because of your skin.
Yeah.
So,
You are untalented. You have no brain. You have nothing special, no value. But hey, you're black. Come along.
It makes me think of, I was with, I think with Rob Bursoff, and people didn't like that I did that interview, you know. But I said to him, it makes me think now, when your kids go to school, they have athletics. There's a clear winner, but they decide to give a prize to everyone, even the loser.
Oh,
so that no one feels out.
What do they call them? Contribution trophies or something. Yeah. Participation. Participation prize. Yeah.
That's how it feels to me, like where we are at. It's
and you know what happens to kids who get brought up with participation prizes?
Oh yeah, right? Definitely. They're entitled, spoiled.
They fall apart.
Yeah.
No, they fall apart, and I think it's so horrible. So I worked in the music industry, right? Okay. So think about this: 1990, we operating under apartheid economics, right? I don't know why we call it apartheid. Okay, national party economics, which were politically unjust, but economically. You literally, if you measured every measure between Singapore right now and South Africa in 1990, all measures match, right?
Yes.
In terms of the economic freedom.
Yes.
So because also, it ends up where it's like you mix it all up.
Yes.
Okay, so in 1990, we were very economically free.
Healthy.
You didn't have to jump over hoops to do stuff. And so in 1990, something happened. There was an industry that was started, Kwaito music, right? So the kids, as soon as, because all the laws, the old National Party apartheid laws were still on the books, but they weren't being enforced.
Okay.
Because it was like the end times, right?
And
so just with that, one industry, because I worked in it, and you had EMI, Gallo, all these multinational corporations in South Africa running music. And because the political and the movement freedom was happening, Kwaito happened on its own.
Yes.
Okay. So what happened is the Sowetan kids who were interested in music, they started getting into clubs, and then they started knocking on the doors of EMI and whatever. And what happened between 1990 and 2000 is that whole industry moved further and further into black hands. Okay, so by 1990, all music is white owned. By 2000, all the big stars,
Black-owned, yeah.
the industry was run by black guys, right? And they had companies, and some were in, by the time I came in 2000, my company went to all the way where I only lost 19% to distribution.
Okay.
89% of the company was mine. Okay, the stars created from there are still millionaires today, and I've been out of it for 10 years. Okay, so, but this is the thing that's the point, is whoever manages to stand up and say, black people, you can't do anything economically without Daddy Rama will open the door for you, right? It's like the door was open in 1990 under de Klerk. So maybe we don't need anyone's help.
Yes,
right?
Yes.
We absolutely don't need anybody's help. But it's such a sneaky thing, because if you tell me that I need you, and I don't have someone to tell you, no, you don't. Actually, no one's trying to help you; they're trying to control you.
Yeah.
So anyway,
and they control you. What we'll get into a bit later is the whole SASSA thing. It's totally unscriptural to receive it. If I want to, we must help the poor. I understand all of those stuff, but we know why it is there. We see the president rejoicing that 30 million people are on SASSA grants.
Can you believe it?
And I say to people, you are not. If you're a believer, you're not a beggar.
Yeah.
You're a victor, You're not, people can say whatever, but you're white and this black, because, racism is so pushed on this nation, and I want us to get into that a bit later as well, but that's all people see. But I believe each one of us have been dealt a hand in life, and we have to take responsibility.
Yeah.
I can't sit and cry, and the one time I was when the refugee thing came out of Trump, and I never considered it at all, because if I move, I'll move properly, and because as a refugee. But I had this thought in my head, and I thought, if I look at pastors in America, even my age, I know some people that are my age, because the economy is so booming, they're very wealthy, comfortable, it's nice, they have many houses, they got a jet, and I just thought, I'm like, it'll be nice to have the peace of mind. That's what I thought, and a little bit of luxury. And I heard the voice of the Lord clearly. He said to me, I didn't call you to be comfortable. I called you to preach the gospel. So the reason I'm staying in South Africa is because I see it as a missions field. And I heard the voice of the Lord clearly to say to me, you plant a church and churches.
Wow.
So, but I can also sit and cry and say, okay, but the government isn't for me, or these aren't for me. And there's a lot of stuff against all people in the nation. I think when people hear us complain, they think, again, we hinting back towards apartheid, and we're longing back to apartheid. I didn't even live in apartheid. I don't know how I can long back to apartheid.
And the people who are saying you're longing for apartheid didn't live in apartheid.
Didn't live in apartheid either. Or they were really very, very small at very young at a time where it doesn't affect any child, because a child doesn't know better. So. But it's so dangerous, and I think that just us, sometimes you want to talk on these topics and you feel like you need to tiptoe. It tells you the climate of the nation where we are, and that we can't even freely speak, about just common sense stuff. But you were mentioning about the music company that, was freely being able to do it in 1990. Do you think there is a possibility that they've changed history? Let me give you an example. So some people would say, let's use South Africa. We can use America as well, with natives in America and how they came there and so on. So in America, there was a mindset that the Republicans were slave owners until they began to expose and say it was actually the Democrats that were slave owners. But you see how they subtly changed history in education to make people think a certain way. Now we know critical race theory coming in, especially in South Africa. To what degree do you think history has been changed? Because if I speak to somebody in the ANC or EFF or MK regarding history, it's like they have a total different understanding of what I have.
And it's because you. So so if you talk to all these the Marxists, they so normally when you go to school you get history, so what happened and who did what.
Yes.
Okay, so they don't believe in history. History is just a tool, right? Because you need to just say apartheid, and then you must just trigger someone so that they can give you their life and destiny.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So of course most of the history is, and I mean a simple example is that you had more self-made black millionaires under apartheid than now.
So, okay.
Because we can't count comrades, because that's stolen money.
Yeah.
And it's
Country
stolen from shack
also.
dwellers.
Yeah.
Right? One of the things I hate about living in the north is I can't drive in any direction without seeing
townships.
Ramaphosa's victims. In fact, let me say something about it as well. Talk about townships. I grew up in the last part of apartheid. I didn't know what a shack was. I've never seen a shack in my childhood. We didn't have shacks, right? And I know someone's going to go, the usual, you're saying apartheid was better. Then now, it depends. You've got to speak clearly. See, but you see, you're not supposed to ever talk about the times and compare anything, because you must just be angry and it must just, and they call it the glorification of apartheid, right? Meaning, if you talk about, first of all, you must call it apartheid, and then you must call it white people, and I, in fact, let me say this once: do you have a lot of white people who listen to your show?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So, am I looking in that camera?
Yes. You can go ahead.
Okay. So can I send a message?
Yeah, you're free to be as you want.
Okay. If your surname's not de Klerk or Verwoerd or something, and even if it is, if you were not politically connected, please stop apologizing about apartheid.
White guilt. Yeah.
Because that was the politicians who did it.
Yes.
In the same way
they're doing it now.
I will never on any day apologize to anyone for what the ANC is doing.
Yes.
I'm not going to promote myself to
yes.
I'm not up there, right?
Yes.
So I have no responsibility for what politicians do.
Yes.
And I think this is very important as well, is what Marxists do is they confuse politicians and citizens. So when I sit here with you, right, I have more in common with you than I have with Ramaphosa.
Yes.
Because he's a politician.
Yes.
I'm not. I'm a citizen.
Yes.
So whatever's in my favor will be more, we'll share more commonalities than with him.
Yes.
Because he's a politician.
He knows no reality. He was shocked about Johannesburg's condition.
Yeah, even though he lives there. He goes, I am shocked. Exactly.
Yes.
But also what happens is, whatever he passes, the battle is between citizens and politicians. It's not between black and white.
Yes.
And how they get to hide that is that they get to say it's between black and white.
Yes. Because if you now look at touching on the education, and I believe there's two things that affects masses, and that they use also to colonize countries. So when Britain did come in, especially in Africa, to colonize, they would do two things. They would change the education, and they would propagandize, if I can say it like that, the media. So these are the two things we see: critical race theory in education right now, and we see News 24 that every article is either white or black, and they'll say a white man this, a black, because they're fueling racism. And I'd say always racism is the card of a poor individual, and I don't mean poor by no money. I mean poor by lack of education and creativity. So the only thing we can't criticize something properly and critically think about something properly. The only thing I can scream is racism.
Absolutely. And it's I think it's very sad that the church has fallen for this, because the very nature of the gospel is to give you an identity in
Yes.
Christ.
Yes.
And what these critical race theorists, which is neo-Marxism, what they want to do is that your identity must be in what should describe you. And you now don't describe yourself as a black guy. You now identify yourself as a guy who is black. And here's the thing, I always close my shows by saying no man can serve two masters. Because if I'm a guy who is black, well, then I must drop Christ. Because then you can't have two identities.
Yes.
You can't have two identifiers.
Yes.
Because I identify myself in God.
Yes.
Because I am a spirit. I have
That's
a
right.
soul. I live in a body. So then you
That's
can
right.
describe my body.
Yes.
And actually, what they are doing is literally, when you talk about colonizing, is they literally are trying to force a new religion
Yes.
onto the country. And it's very sad that black pastors are spiritual engagers in harlotry, because it's the pastors who should be saying, guys, remember I told you someone died for you and bought you with their blood?
Yes.
That's who you belong to.
Yes.
That's where your identity is, right?
Yes.
I think South Africans should understand, because people pay lobola, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And once you pay lobola, then you take that surname and then we identify you as
That's
a Shongwe.
right. Yes.
Well, he paid lobola with his own blood.
Yes.
And we belong to him. And so what then happens is, once you take what should describe you, because you can describe me with my Swati, you can describe my lineage with my granddad was in Swaziland and he was just on the border.
Okay.
And Shongwes are a huge surname in
Yes,
Swati. So I'm a
yes, yes.
Swati guy. Awesome description. I'm glad about it. I can tell you about it for 5 years,
Yes,
right?
yes,
I can
yes.
tell you everything Swatis do, but that's a description,
Yes.
because I'm a spirit.
It's not your identity.
It's not my identity. And if you want my identity, then that's different.
Yes.
I'm the righteousness of God in Christ Jesus.
You know, that was one of my questions as well, is that I feel South Africa keeps pushing the masses towards the history to shape their identity regarding that. So their history, their identity must be, I suffered under apartheid. Now it makes them that's their identity.
Yeah.
And you know, when you drive in a car and you look in a rear view mirror the whole time,
You're gonna
crash. So no wonder South Africa isn't going forward. But again, in saying this, you know, this is what the question that I wanted to ask you is, what is the fine balance between recognizing the past but not letting it shape our identity? That's exactly what I wrote down here before. And because if I now say what I say now, not always looking in rear view window all the time, some radicals are going to accuse me, you know, and say, there, I'm a racist, you know, while I'm just trying to speak critical thinking, fact. Let's ignore race, color. You know, Ramaphosa and Johan Rupert are good friends up there, white and black. And where there's money, and there's no racism.
Yeah,
it's
no,
where
definitely.
there's no money, there is racism. You know.
Yeah. No, I mean,
because it's an excuse. It's a way to justify, and so I don't have to take responsibility for the way I act and behave. I can blame it on that, and that gives me the right to do what I'm doing.
Yeah. Absolutely. And unfortunately, people like to, we don't like responsibility, right? It's a heavy weight on us.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I mean, it's easier to just say, you know,
Yeah.
you did this, you did that. And
So what is the fine line between that we respect the past or we recognize what has happened, but we don't become that? Especially for Christians, because, you know, secondly, I've been called, I told you before the show, I've been called a colonizer, a European, a Jew, a settler, everything. You know,
are you Jewish?
No, I'm not Jewish. But apparently anyone that's white is a Jew, you know. So I've been called that. So then I put a comment. I wrote a post. I said Jesus was a Jew, you know. Full stop.
I know.
I had thousands of comments attacking me. But you know, the thing is, the attacks come from in the church.
Yeah.
So I had bishops, apostles, and pastors inboxing and messaging, even commenting on myself. It went very bad. I had to shut down the comment.
Yeah.
I mean, very racist, you know, very hurt, and they speak in such a gaslighting way to make that I now must feel bad for something that I've never done. White guilt, I think it's white guilt. They call it,
is
or
white
black guilt. I'm not sure, but you know, and then they say they can't wait to take my land. There needs to be justices. There's no racism in the laws. There's only redress, because a lot of nonsense, because ANC has this magical wand to change terminologies and then the facts disappear.
Yeah.
You know, it's not racism, it's redress. Okay, do whatever you want, you know. And I mean, it is the epitome of stupidity and unintellectuality. But they say these things. I had one or two that messaged me 2 days afterwards and repented and said, look, I don't know, when you put that comment on, they said it was like something came over my mind, and I was just thinking one way, and hatred came up in this, and I'm like, but you know, that is worrisome, because as a bishop, as an apostle, as a pastor, why let that old still come up by a comment that has absolutely nothing to do with anything, you know? So what is the solution for racism in the church? Why do I get attacked like that? Is it maybe because it's traditional churches? What I mean by that is it's still ancestral mixed with the church. Because I know this one pastor one day, this thing happened with Zuma in KwaZulu-Natal. I think it was the riots, and people were all going to his house. And then he said, no, and this pastor was supposed to be speaking at a speaking engagement, and he left, he cancelled. He says, no, I'm a Zulu first, then I'm a preacher. You know, and so I'm trying to figure out the mindset. What are we sitting with a lot of ancestral churches that just don't see Christ fully as Lord?
Yeah. No, definitely. I think we do have a major confusion in terms of culture and Christ, and unfortunately many have chosen the other side, right?
Yes.
They've decided that my and I need to say something about it quickly, because I'm going to say too much. But coming back to racism in the church, you know, two things happen. First of all, there's no way that you can write a comment and your comment makes me say or do anything, right? I mean, how powerful is this post?
Of course. So that means I have power over you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And actually, it's not your post that makes anyone angry, but it's the anger in them that's shown up by the post.
Yes.
And I think it's this victim mentality that's been passed down, that you're a constant victim. Oh man, you must just say the right thing, and don't do this, don't do that, and you know, because I'm ready to cry.
Yes.
And unfortunately, in fact, I think one of the things that let me tell you something that is my theory. One of the things that has been a strength in the hands of the ANC in South Africa has been white guilt. So that I hate everybody. So we do blame the people who kept voting for the ANC while seeing everything going down. But I think one of the things that hasn't been good in the country is that white people have been too careful. And of course it was set up, right? You do remember how, so for instance, Ronaldo said something protesting against Kill the Boer and had to be grilled until he apologized. There was the lady Magor. She said something about black people and bulldogs. She was a bulldog lover. Okay, who made some crazy statement in a WhatsApp group. Okay, but that's private communication.
Yeah.
But she got arrested, and then they marched to her house and blah blah blah. So I do get it that the message was sent out there that be careful or else, right? But the be careful doesn't apply to the politicians,
of course,
who are equally radical,
of course,
which meant then we were kind of unbalanced, right?
Yes. Well, it puts us into communism because it's no longer freedom of speech.
Not at all.
Because racism actually do fall under the freedom of expression, freedom of speech.
It does.
And we're Christians, we don't advocate for it at all.
Yeah.
But, if we have to talk critically and factually, should you arrest somebody that's a racist? No, you shouldn't, because it's freedom.
No.
But why does the nation do it? Why is there double standards? Now, I'm not advocating for racism, but we have to at some place come to common sense and say, okay, what is too much for freedom of speech? You know, because I see people, on X, we know when that one guy was doxxed, I think it was called Boer or something like that, with Elon Musk, the guy that they said fed Elon Musk
and they
information, and then they doxed him, and then the government wrote a letter and said they approve of the doxing. It was from the president's desk that they approve of the doxing, and that is communism. And then I saw all these people, obviously the masses, the poor, and those who are uneducated, would scream and shout and say, yes, we need more of this, we need more regulation. You don't know what you're saying.
You don't, because when it gets you, it gets you.
It's your demise. And, the problem we have is lack of education. It's not us saying, I want to make this very clear. The brain of a black person and the brain of a white person is the same. It's the same. Same capacity, same intellectuality. It is just a gap of education and correct education and opportunity. I believe there's a lot of factors to it.
And attitude.
Attitude,
Yeah, attitude really affects brain, right? Because it's not the size of your brain, it's the attitude that drives the brain.
Yes.
So actually this perpetual victim mentality selling also makes people dumb. So if you measure someone, if you had to measure someone's brain and then let them listen to Julius for 5 years, they will be dumber at the end of that. I'm serious. Because,
no, for sure.
Because, so remember the Bible says, people perish for lack of knowledge.
Yes.
But then it says, because you have rejected knowledge. Right? So you don't get dumber because you lack the potential. You get dumber because you reject more.
Yes.
So you will find, if you find anyone who listens to me for 5 years, they'll be smarter.
Yes.
And it's only because their minds will be opened.
Yes.
So I think what's even worse about this is it's not just the lack of education as in school, but it's every time people listen to
propaganda, education,
to propaganda,
to rhetoric.
It makes you stupid.
Makes you more definitely, absolutely. I mean, we saw how I was laughing. I don't know if you saw this ad about that. What is her name? That girl in America, Sweeney or something. What is you guys? Yes, there was this whole thing where Sydney Sweeney is some model girl in America that she had jeans on. She does an ad for jeans, American-made jeans.
Okay.
And the ad says, because she's some actor or something, it looks like she's been going viral. And the ad says, Sydney Sweeney looks good in jeans. That's it. I think something like that. And then the whole left got stirred up. But only the left, because now it's a beautiful woman. It's a model, and she has blue eyes and blonde. So now they say jeans. There doesn't mean jeans. It means jeans.
G-N-E-S.
And now they're saying they're pushing eugenics, and they're pushing white Nazi type neo. What do they call it? Neo something. Okay. And neo-Nazi or something, and that they're pushing that. But the only people that are complaining really is ugly women on the left, fat women on the left, and that's it. It's complaining about it,
and it's
like
the NGO and the
NGOs that
NGO entrepreneurs
that gets paid.
It's just a pity that we have that crowd running our parliament.
So people need to understand that the ANC is left, full on left.
They're Marxists, definitely, but they don't hide it, right?
Yes.
They do say we are pushing the National Democratic Revolution, which means moderately organized socialism.
And socialism is communism masked.
And it's anti-God, anti-family, anti-reasoning.
I want us to say it on here. I believe, I don't know what you believe, but capitalism is of God. It's biblically sound. It's right throughout Scripture. Scripture it doesn't deny capitalism. People think Scripture pushes socialism. Not at all. Scripture pushes capitalism all over. I mean, talents 1, 3, 5 talents. We can get into all of the stuff of Scripture, but why are people against? I'm trying to understand an African mindset. Why is Africa against capitalism? Is it because it represents colonialism?
So first of all, I don't like to call it capitalism.
Okay.
Because capitalism is what Karl Marx called free markets.
Okay.
Which then also takes our eyes off freedom to capital, because capital helps to make someone feel jealous.
So it's better to say free markets.
Free markets.
Of course, yeah.
And but absolutely. So I'll take it further than saying what and you've already alluded to it, further than saying the Bible agrees with capitalism. I'll say Jesus deals with us like a capitalist, as Absolutely. A capitalist, right? Otherwise, then there are no talents and whatever.
Yes.
Otherwise, there's no point we wouldn't obey him, right? Except he says, I put something in you.
Yes.
you better grow it and bring it back multiplied.
Yes.
So I tell you what happened. So this is what happened. You had Karl Marx, early 1800s.
Yes.
Who was jealous that the guys who worked had factories and stuff. Right?
Yes.
So he said they're going to fall apart. Like how every jealous person talks. And then it didn't fall apart. Okay. And then you had the second level of Marxism, because he thought he's going to, go full on communist. And so then they realized the problem is, oh man, we're not succeeding. We thought these people would get angry, but now they're getting happier because they're all getting more prosperous. So then they decided, how do we still bring socialism and communism? And so they decided, let's try use black people, women, the disabled, and on, right? So then what happened is they passed that doctrine into Africa with the Pan-Africanist guys and all of them, and in South Africa with Sobukwe and all of them, and because of that, and because that was around the time of colonization, which has always happened, right? Which is happening right now. Do we not live in an ANC colony right now?
Of course.
We do. Most of us don't like the ANC. Are they listening to us? Of course not. Right? We are in an ANC colony.
Yes.
Do you hate America?
No.
Well, we've just dumped them.
Yes,
I don't hate America.
Yes,
Do you hate Taiwan? No,
Yeah.
I like Taiwan. I think they're productive.
Yes.
Right? So we being colonized
Do
too.
we like Iran? No, but we're giving them an embassy, apparently.
Exactly. So anyway, but what happened is they managed to use colonization to then take leadership of Africa and the thinking. And so all of Africa then ends up being Marxist. If you go to any country in Africa, you'll hear the word revolution. Go to any prosperous country, no one says revolution unless they're really speaking about it from a dictionary.
Yes.
So I think what happened is that was pushed in and it was accepted, and they managed to colonize the country and the continent. So most of Africa is Marxist because the previous leaders colonized it. Black leaders colonized Africa to think as Marxists.
Sure.
But our saving grace, I'll tell you now, South Africa, where it is in terms of the economy and all of that, we should have mega violence right now. Our saving grace are all the churches in the country. So what then happens is not everybody, I can't speak for everybody, but most black people are schizophrenic.
That's right.
They hold to biblical values
while holding to the political,
while feeling guilty that you're not allowed to be a Christian politically.
Yes.
And so that's why they swing.
That's what I've seen, because I would be accused. They would accuse me and say, what do they say? They say, you can, don't bring your Christianity into politics. Don't mix God and politics. Don't mix faith and politics. But then my question is this. You're just saying not mixing it because you feel guilty. The fact that you have to split personality. That's exactly, I've been saying that on podcasts. Because you want to keep your politics out of your Christianity so you don't have to feel guilty
and keep your
for
Christianity
certain
out
privileges
of your politics.
and crime and corruption and everything that you are doing.
So that you can be a pastor in the ANC. Like that's so
And listen,
funny.
I have churches and I have pastors telling me I shouldn't be speaking against the ANC. I have a problem with the church in South Africa, that I feel the church doesn't stand up the way that they should. I understand we're not in a freedom country, but still, I don't think I think a lot of the churches are sold out to the ANC. I know many who are. I think a lot of them are sold out to the ANC. I think some are they are benefiting. People need to understand how NGOs work. You get paid well. To spread a agenda and to spread a propaganda. So people don't even know how this young kid Peter Kriel came up. NGOs. Okay?
Oh yeah.
So
you don't
coming
have to.
out of nowhere. Myself and Ronaldo will be talking about him on Monday, I think. But these are all NGOs. These are not people who have fought or earned anything by merit, but they're there to push a propaganda, and they're being looked after. And it's not even told to them like, okay, it's very shaded in a business deal. They even think they're doing good or something like that, but they're getting easy funding.
No, they're lying. They're Judases. They know exactly what they're doing. They know they're selling Jesus for 30 pieces of silver. And I think they don't start thinking that because it's all done in nice snaky language. But when you get in, you know. No, when you get in, And I guess sometimes they just lack the courage. So I used to do a lot of work with entrepreneurs. And I've always enjoyed, especially when a company's at just potential to when it's really has national influence.
Yes.
And I worked with a lot of companies that I stepped out of. In fact, the last time I had a very horrible conversation with someone because they called me and said, can you help me to put this together and whatever? And I said, okay, sure, and whatever. And then, so I can get this tender, right? So I came close to swearing at them because I was like, but you're insulting me now. Like, how about you invite me to a bank robbery, right? How about just call me, let's go mug people in the streets. Because you know what this is. You know this is, let's go mug shack dwellers and buy a BMW.
Yes.
Right? So they do know. There's no one who's involved with the ANC, the EFF, the MK, who does not know that it's all under the table. They know. And they would rather go for the easy way out. And it's not necessary. It's not necessary.
I want us to touch on BEE transformation. I think this transformation is just another word for racism. What transformation, dear?
I just felt something go down my back when you said the word.
Cyril, every little few seconds of an interview he does, all he says is, black people, you are stupid. White people are too powerful. You're all struggling because of white people. That's quote
that's
unquote.
The message. That's the I can't use gospel whatever. No, it is
because I've never seen a president that blame shifts, but then also to go all out, because one interview he said colonialism needs to be punished more. So, and he means that BEE, he also says that BEE needs to go in more stronger. It hasn't achieved.
It's been working well so far.
For them,
so, definitely for them.
So with BEE, look, you've had now experience in the business world. I think it is impossible to run a good business in South Africa. I think it is nearly impossible. Let me say nearly impossible.
It will be impossible soon.
Cannot come up. With the tax, the VAT, you don't make anything.
But you know who benefits from BEE? It's the big business, because they like it, right? and with their politicians right there, so that the people who suffer are actually the ones right here at the bottom, because it's the ANC and their crooked big business partners, right?
Yeah.
It's the ANC and their guys at the top who love to, because then they can work together.
Yes.
And then it works well for Cyril, who, when he says black, somehow he manages to say us, right?
Sorry, us. Yes.
He says we.
We, yes.
Like,
and so he uses the language of division, which is divide and conquer, us and them.
But you're the billionaire too, right? Aren't you monopoly capital too?
Yes.
But yes. Yeah. So he says we suffered.
He is white capital, though. People need to understand that Cyril is white capital. He was made by white capital, monopoly, you know.
Yeah. And white monopoly capital is ANC capital.
Yes. That's what I'm saying.
White monopoly capital is ANC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when everybody screams against them, know that they are the ANC.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah. White monopoly capital is the ANC.
Yeah.
And Ramaphosa is an interesting one. But this is so hard, you know. Sometimes you look at it and you say, how do you open people's eyes to see that?
That's been my question. I was sitting with Rob. I said, you know, propaganda. Now, obviously, he's not a Christian, so I can't talk to him as a Christian. But for me, it is like a stronghold, and a deception comes into their mind with it. You see, people need to understand how demons operate. Yeah, I've done a lot of deliverances, and I know, you would know that world. But demons don't only come in because of a sin. You know, otherwise, everybody would be full of demons.
Yeah,
they come in because of a belief system.
Yeah.
Doctrine.
Yeah.
You know, doctrine is not only Bible doctrine. Doctrine is any teaching.
Yeah.
Critical race theory is a doctrine. Yeah. So they spread propaganda. It's literally a spirit that takes over the people.
They're literally spewing a curse every time they take a mic.
Yes.
Incantations. Yeah.
Well, no, that's true.
Hence, they have words that they just keep repeating, like transformation, and never say, you know, you never say a sentence with transformation without saying transformation from butterfly to right.
Yes.
You don't even need to say it because it's just spiritual.
It's spiritual. No, for sure. And you know, I don't think believers understand to what they yoke themselves with if they do vote for a demonic party. We're not even speaking about a neutral party, for a demonic party that does ancestral worship, that pays their respects to that, you know, and there's a lot of demonic rhetoric.
Yeah.
Now you sign up for that, you know, it will, I have seen Christians being taken by that spirit, and then they begin to speak the same language, the same tone, and where they never called me out or said anything to me, all of a sudden I'm a problem to them now.
Yeah. No, it is. Bottom line, it's spiritual. And here's the thing, because you know you have politics here. Above politics, you have philosophy, but it always above that is faith. And literally, you were talking about capitalism, which is an operation based on a certain philosophy that's freedom. Right above it, you'll find
that's powerful.
Faith, right?
That's powerful because you know, I believe, and I say this on all the political type podcasts that I'm doing, that, you know, the gospel is the best detergent for any propaganda. It can set somebody free. And that's why I feel we have to preach the gospel to change the mindset of people and to actually set them free politically. But, you know, why are so many believers still under this thing, but yet they are believers, you know? So I was thinking on, what can we do? Because, I mean, I was accused of so many things, saying that you never sit down with black pastors to find out their struggle. And obviously we just get accused. People don't know what I have done, you know. But what more can be done in the church for...
Why should you be sitting down to find out a struggle?
You know?
Well,
so
okay, so that what? So that you'd understand their struggle.
I don't know. They say that I don't understand. You know, obviously, if I wasn't there, I will not understand. But how am I going to understand by you just talking? Now we can hear out, and because South Africa is this emotional country.
It's guilt tripping, because that just sounds like guilt tripping.
So,
like I'm not an.
So you go to Zimbabwe, different. You go to Malawi, different. You come into South Africa, it's emotions, guilt. And they love to tell pastors what to do. You know, it's a nation that destroys their church or destroys prophets, and love to tell men of, because they'll tell me, shut up and just preach this. You know, those. And obviously, I'm not. I understand there's bots and there's radicals, so I don't take that as the general voice on the ground. I don't think the general voice is racism.
Not at all.
You know, I don't feel that. No. I do sense it in the atmosphere because what the politicians are doing, but I don't feel that. I don't believe there's a white genocide. I do believe there's stages to it. You know. And then I don't know if you saw with the farm murders, with the Department of Human Rights that USA sent here.
The new report that just came out. I haven't read it yet, but I saw that a report has just come from their investigation, right? Yeah.
So people don't understand. Obviously, it's not a white genocide, but when these murders are taking place, it is torture murders, not for not stealing anything. It's torture, and then they would write "kill the boer with blood," or they would sing while doing it. So it was obviously fueled by Julius.
Yeah. So and I think the whole white genocide term, right, is very interesting because that was a trick that they played very well. Because
they created it.
Yeah. So that you start arguing with a nonsense term.
It. Yes.
So you start arguing like, no, there is no white genocide. Well, I don't know who ever said there was one, right? Because now then you get to ignore the farm killings, the farm murders. You get to ignore the fact that the farm murder goes with sanctioned political speech. That celebrates the farm murder. Right? So even when they say no, we just have a crime problem. Well, no, we don't, because if I got mugged today, I will not have a politician say anything that would be coming after that mugging. And so I would only deal with the cops didn't help me.
That's right.
But now someone who's on a farm and experiences a murder, they will have to listen to their parliamentarian after not being helped by the police, endorsing that. So no, it's not just a crime problem. There is a specific problem in the issue. But of course, it's the usual thing. So it's like, if someone doesn't want to answer a question, then they just create a bigger problem and then make you fight that. Because Trump never said white genocide. I haven't heard him, but you'll see every single media house, they say Trump's complaints about white genocide. I'm like, I pretty much followed everything he said, all the tweets and all of that. He did not say the term white genocide. And they know that once you write white genocide on videos, you'll get that white genocide Wikipedia, which is some crazy conspiracy that has nothing to do with South Africa. So that's a good trick they played, and I think they won it. And I think they won it when many common sense people started saying, there is no, we shouldn't have ever said that word because it was just a nonsense thing. You know, it's like you arrive late at a meeting and you're like, you 5 minutes late, and they're like, oh, so I hate you now, and then you start discussing hatred. I said nothing about hatred. So that's they played that well, and they are so twisted. Let me tell you something about the ANC. I hear a lot of people say ANC is incompetent. The ANC is not incompetent. The ANC is one of the most competent operators I have ever seen in my life. All the leaders are wealthy. All the people they are mugging are on their side.
I'll also be competent if I have to.
That takes a lot of competence. And the only thing is they are only competent with power, nothing else. And that's why they've managed to hold on to power so long.
Sure.
But it's not working anymore. So the ANC's gone. ANC's gone. A kingdom divided against itself will fall. And ANC's gone thanks to MK and EFF. And the whole Marxist edifice, one thing we must thank God for is the EFF and the MK, because that was the opening for people on the ground to begin to see, we're being lied to here.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, just yesterday, we had Jacob Zuma taking Cyril to court.
Yeah, I saw.
Saying you didn't fire him because you just want to spread money. That's kingdom divided against itself, right? Because it's like, so you know exactly what you were doing.
Yes.
But while they carry on with these fights, I actually believe that opens a gap for common sense to get through to people again.
Definitely. What do you think is after the ANC?
Sure. So after
beyond the ANC.
Beyond the ANC, you never know which way things swing. And I think we need to stay behind these microphones so that things swing common sense direction.
Yes. I think podcasting is going to go big in South Africa to swing the political sphere.
Absolutely. Because they're seeing us and it's us.
Yes.
And we're not reporting to Parliament.
Yes.
And some politician telling us what to say. And people are already tired of the SABC and the mainstream because you can see through it.
Yeah.
I mean, how these people report this stuff.
That News 24 would say that Cyril had a victorious meeting in the White House.
Yeah, and they start running his words like it was a reset. And I'm like, what is that? Like, why are you using it like we all know what a reset is?
And what is it that they would sit and Cyril would refuse in a White House on TV, refuse to condemn what Julius is doing.
Yeah.
Now, why is that? Is that because they all got something on one another? Is that why there's cadre deployment? Because they all got something on one another, so they have to cadre deploy.
Yeah. What we actually dealing with now is that. Sometimes you feel like, but these guys know how we could make the country prosper. The problem is for the country to prosper, it includes a lot of them in jail.
Transparency, accountability.
Yeah, and that's hard. Even now, with the GNU, the DA's gone in and they're keeping them away from the economy. They're keeping them away from international relations. And it seems like because they just want to push an agenda.
Yes.
They're not pushing agendas right now. It's survival.
Yeah.
Because if they get into DIRCO, they're going to finally find that, why do we have an email about the Hamas attack on the
before
6th
the 7th
of November, right?
Yes.
And then you're going to see transfers coming, and it's chaos. So
and I think there's a $400 million lawsuit possible because of that, coming because of that. I saw America is suing.
Is it with the lawyers for
the ICJ case, the fact that they knew about it beforehand, they want to sue the country for 400 million. Either ANC or the country. Either Cyril, they said, or the country.
Who wants to sue? Some group?
No, the US.
Trump. The US wants to sue?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
You can just check it. It was big in the news.
Wow.
People don't say 400 million.
Trump has been awesome for South Africa, I must say. I'm very happy. So, Mr. Trump, if you ever watch this, please bump it up a bit. Okay, do a little more. We need the heat. In fact, there was a time I wished that we had gone into an ANC with EFF, or MK wouldn't have gone into power with the ANC, but I wish the ANC had gone in with EFF.
Why?
So that we can get over this, right? Just push the process forward quicker.
Okay, now I hear you. Because it's going to go there eventually, so they might as well just...
the quicker we get there, the better.
Yes.
And I think right now, there's no way to do it without a little bit of heat. So I just wish everyone who wants to turn up the heat, please turn the heat up on us so we can...
Yes.
Yeah.
No, definitely. Do you foresee BEE being relaxed or not? Definitely not under the ANC, though.
They have to let it go. It's got to collapse.
But why collapse something that really benefits you? So
you mean them letting go of it?
Yeah, it benefits them. And I can understand why people fight me when I say BEE is wrong, because in their eyes, it benefits them, but it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
But in their minds, and obviously all of us got to fight for something that benefits us. So I can't even blame people being upset with me. Every time I mention BEE, it's almost like people have been trained. Their responses to me.
Yeah.
It's like all the same. It's like, you don't understand the injustices that this country has gone through. And it's like the same language
and lines.
Guilt and making me feel guilty in the comment, And it's witchcraft, by the way.
It is.
It's the same language.
Yeah.
I'm like, is this the same demon talking through everyone?
And it's like, and you're like, when did you start using words like redress? That's quite a heavy word, How about give back or something?
Yes.
No, it is. It's scripting, and it's like the injustices of the past, and and like apartheid and the 90% of black people in South Africa. In fact, just say 90% of the whole population, right? Everybody. All races, ask them this and say, you have 5 minutes to tell me what apartheid is. Go. 99% of people don't even know what they're talking about, right? Because they don't even know right now the difference between parliament and constitutional court, or even what laws are out there. So they actually don't know what they're talking about. It's just the emotion. And the ANC was very clever to call it B, black economic empowerment, right? And funny enough, it's I was telling someone the other day that that it's funny that if you read policy, if you were black and lived in a shack, you probably want to vote Freedom Front or DA or I'm going through things in my head, or some parties, right? Because they actually do mention you in their manifesto.
Helping you,
You're not mentioned in the ANC manifesto. You're not mentioned in the EFF manifesto. You're not mentioned in the MK manifesto because they only talk about themselves, right? Julius says, we will take the land to the state. He works in the state. You don't. You live in a shack.
Yes.
Right?
And you know that if you work in the state, you can get that land. I mean, I know how it works. I know some other countries with people in power that I'm friends with, state, government, people don't understand government and politics is a business. It's a business. And, it's business deals. It runs by business. It can't without big corporates. But you were saying something now regarding the shacks. I mean, we see the tenders that has gone wrong. We see all these things. I think, to even the degree that they sell the lands off. I saw how another land grabbing situation that took place, and how somebody in municipality just comes and say, okay, this plot I'll sell to you, and he began to take all the money. My wife drove out a week ago. She drove out here, out of our estate, and there's always cops pulling us over here. So they pulled her over. She was alone, and something wrong with the car, and they said, okay, if she has a license. So she opened up a bag and there was cash in her handbag. So they said, how much cash is that? So she said, look, I'm you know, on my way to bank it's 10,000. So they said, you're not allowed to have that. It's illegal to have that on you. So obviously she was alone. She then wanted to call me, but then the guy came into the car like this. Now there was like 15 other cop cars there, you know, so it was a huge, he put his body into the car, tried to grab the money and says, you need to give me some. And she had to give him 300 just to let him get away. But that's the condition that we are in. You know, it's really bad. I think for a nation to have their police officers and their teachers paid the lowest, you must know has no desire for people's protection future. And the education, especially of the poor.
Yeah. And also, you know, when that policeman is doing all that corruption, who do you report him to? Because that's where he learned from, and that's where he learned from, and it goes right up to the president.
Yes.
So if I'm watching my commander-in-chief and I'm someone in uniform and he's got dollars under his couch, well, I need something under my couch,
yes,
right?
Yes.
And it's fish rots from the head.
And it's not a mafia. I said to Rob, I said, you know, we're not run by, if we were run by a mafia, at least we will be protected. You know,
Yeah,
we're run by a cartel. Definitely not a mafia, because we're paying homage, but there's no protection or favors coming.
And order.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you foresee that BEE will go, well, we definitely if the ANC, you know, but I'm jumping you all over, but I said, what is beyond ANC? You said possibly, or I might have said it beforehand, a multi-party, but more multi than what it is right now.
Yeah.
I don't think the GNU is a perfect example of a multi-party government, because the ANC is still bullying that thing. You know, there's a lot of corruption. You can see it looks like the DA has been captured. Just looks like it. I'm not saying there is, but why are they firing all their people? And ANC ain't firing anyone. You know, what are they trying to set? I don't understand. And why is the DA only firing white people? You know, and we see Mbappé that resigned right now, but there was some things behind the scenes definitely going on. So I'm not sure if they captured or not sure what's going on there, if they're being threatened, you know, or if they were just promised something. These things can happen, you know. So it just looks to me like they are very disappointing. So we're going to see a proper multi-party, I believe. I hope it'll go that way. And then it's going to be run through the Constitution Court, am I right? Is that, or for things to be passed in Parliament?
Because it's
multi-party now.
So I think this is one of the problems we have, because to reverse any laws, you need 51%. And, you know, if we had good laws, I'd be very happy now, because then they can just come in and do nothing and we can get along with our lives.
Yes.
But I love the pressure, because that's how you get the ANC to back off stuff. So one of the things that I think the DA doesn't understand about the ANC only responds to force, right? Not talking,
not threats,
leverage. And so, and when they do, like every other bully,
because they do these ultimatums, the DA does these ultimatums. That's like, I'm like, they're not going to bow to that.
Yeah, no, they won't. The ultimatums are good for them long term, right? For 2029, because one of the ways that you can stay in a coalition and differentiate yourself is the ultimatums, even if you don't do it. So you'll have people going, you're not blah blah blah, but you've helped to not get swallowed up. Because the people who are not giving ultimatums are just going to disappear in 2029.
Yes.
IFP is going to suffer big time. So,
IFP?
Yeah. They're in there, they're quiet. They're going to suffer big time. PA, I don't know what's going to happen with the latest. PA is another animal. Let's leave them alone. Okay. I don't know what's going to happen with
Gayton.
But they've managed, because of Gayton, he's managed to stand out, right? Because of personality and all that. But the DA, okay, we'll see. I don't think they know how to fight the ANC all the time, or rather realize how much more they should be fighting. See, the VAT fight was good for them.
Yes.
The pulling out of the national dialogue was actually very good. Not for the country, but for them. And I think because the GNU, okay, first of all, there is no GNU, right? There's an ANC DA coalition, makes 60%. That's it.
Yeah.
So for starters, the whole issue of GNU is to put them under. It's a manipulative tactic, right? To say, stay with us.
It's also to save the ANC a little bit, because now it's no longer the ANC's problem, it's now the GNU's problem.
And they get to say, we're not in government with the DA.
Yes.
While they are.
They take both sides,
And they got to keep 75% of ministers. And the DA got half of what they should have gotten. And the DA's half is donated to the other parties, and the other parties get to use the DA's seats to fight the DA. So it's the worst deal I could ever sign. And so we'll see.
Sure.
But they must fight. They must learn how to fight.
Yes.
Yeah. Now they must fight on every side and just be impossible. That's that will help. That would help.
Sure.
I mean, even now the first is coming, the 1st of August. The tariffs are coming.
That's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's the first day. Friday. Yeah.
I don't know why I'm not seeing a noise and an ultimatum.
That's the
from
thing
the
that I'm
DA
speaking about
right now.
Like, why is there? It's like I was in an interview with Davy Root, and he said an economy automatically is supposed to grow. For an economy not to grow means you are intentionally
work
to stop it from growing.
Yeah.
These guys are working hard to do nothing. That's how it looks like.
And they get paid from that, you see.
Yeah.
It's really such a betrayal what the ANC did, and coming back to defend some of the people who attack you and stuff. Come on their side for a change. So, but the difficulty with the ANC and most people following that ideology. It's like the difficulty of someone dating a bad person, and then you must come as friends and say, I actually saw your girlfriend kissing somebody at the mall yesterday. Their usual initial reaction is to fight you. And it's not because they're fighting you, but it's very hard for them to accept that, so I have been bamboozled. I've been made a fool of. And so I'm going to have to first accept that.
Meaning what you're saying is we shouldn't take it personal. It is circumstantial. It is,
And a lot of it is emotional.
Emotional, yes.
Because when you tell someone, the person you looked up to as your leader is actually a liar. And they've been robbing you all this time. And Apartheid's impact ended 20 years ago. All other impact you feel right now is from the last 20 years.
Yes.
And so someone will have to first accept, so my leader is a liar, and that's an identity injury.
Yes.
And so often they'll take it out on someone. I mean, I get it all the time. I just watch it. Who pays you? So I guess you pay me now. You've been paid to say this, Yes. So I just read it, but half of it I know. If they didn't care about the truth you gave them, they would just move on.
They wouldn't comment. Yeah. Yes.
And for them to come hard against you, it's because they're at stage one.
Yes.
They know it's true. And they still need to go through denial, negotiation, anger, and unfortunately, it's the prophets who take the anger, right?
Yes.
It's the voice of truth that gets the messenger gets punished for the message.
Yes.
But often, I think people test you because they want to follow you. I'll give you a good example. I did a video. My channel's only 3 months old. I did a video. A guy came on and he said the usual, hey, sell out, coon, singing for white people, blah blah, the usual, right?
Yes.
And then some time passed. Comes 2 weeks later, and insults me, and uses my clan name, right? So he's getting very personal because it's like, look, if you're gonna get in a political debate, don't include my dad in there, right? Because he knows if he's coming for my clan name, he's kind of getting very personal. But I leave him. Few weeks pass, he comes on, he goes, Pastor, sometimes you make sense. So I look at it and I say, okay, I guess sometimes people need to go through that, and part of it is they will go through anger.
Yes.
Because it is hard to accept that
you were wrong.
Who you thought was your liberator was just a common criminal.
Yes. And you actually stood up for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, of course, I think so. And you were speaking earlier to the camera about white guilt and so on, and it was also a question I wanted to ask you is that, I mean, me as a minister, I'm white. I have all people that is in our church that follows, different ratio levels. Our one church can maybe be 60-70% white because it's a more predominant white area. Our church in Krugersdorp is 60-70% black. Church in Cape Town, our church in Cape Town is more colored. Our church in Belito is more Indian. It's just demographics, Obviously, I would get accused a lot to say, where's your black leaders and this and that. It's just that these people are just seeing one photo. They don't understand the inner things. But I think that as a minister, I'm given no right to voice an issue, and that's what people will tell me. You're a benefactor of apartheid because we say so, not because it's the truth or not, and you don't have a voice. So I'm actually more putting people off when I mention something on politics. But then I'm thinking, but when is it's not about politics. I say to people, I'm not pro-ANC or against ANC. I just want functionality right now.
Yeah.
Functionality. Yeah. And number two, it is my duty, I believe, as a minister, to give people right information. My church, at least, the Bible is right. It's not left. Nothing of the scripture is left. So I tell people, if you vote, look at policies that center right, not policies that's left.
Absolutely.
I can't force them to vote for, I don't even mention parties. In fact, I even say, don't vote Christian right now. Vote with wisdom and vote for functionality. I think a lot of Christians were silenced because they vote for a Christian party. And all of us did, but I don't think it was the right thing to do because they are short-sighted. I don't think you'll ever have a Christian democracy. You might have a Christian leader. You will never have a Christian democracy. It's not going to work. We have a group of people, there's going to be evil there. So
no. I mean, once you start trying to make the state Christian, you're in trouble.
Yes.
Iran part 2, right?
Definitely.
And they're not smiling very much.
But there's this thing of white guilt. And I'm wondering, where's the future for whites in South Africa? I have a lot of people that's leaving the country. I get messages all the time, people saying, and I can't blame them. I wouldn't. Because I feel you have to be where God has called you. Unless if God tells you and you can move. And that's something. But it's like my assignment, we're planting many churches here. My assignment is here. I have to be here. I'm trying to tell people, when you're in the will of God, you'll be protected. You will have peace. You can be under a Soviet government. You can be under the North Korea. You will be blessed, as long as you hear God's voice. So, but that white guilt thing is very difficult as a minister because it's playing on your emotions. Am I going to lose people or not? How do I address this or not? Although I know everybody that is in our church, I haven't gotten attacks from anyone in our church because they got the gospel. I mean, and they understand the gospel. I think that, but how can we address this thing as a church? Do you think the church is standing up for the nation? I don't think so, because I have so many churches telling me I must shut up. And I'm speaking of really big guys.
Yeah.
Really big guys that have sat me down and said, listen, if you want to be favored, just go with the ANC. Really big guys. And I will just, and some of the big guys that did stand up with silence very quickly, So we do live in communism. And people need to understand we are in a communistic country.
Yeah.
They say there's freedom of speech, but there's not. If a
there's
country
freedom of speech for them.
If it can be doxed, you're not in a freedom of speech country. But what do you think the church can do as a whole? I know preaching the gospel is one thing. But what can the church, and I hope that many people will listen of this, what should the church leaders do? We got these networks. We have IFCC, and I know all of them. We have all these different church networks. But I don't see anyone really doing anything that is saying we can stand up as the church or church together.
It's so hard. It's so hard because...
I mean, you have before you go, you have the ZCC that is favored by the government.
Who's joining the national dialogue. Apparently, I don't know, we'll see.
So, and there's a lot of tax benefits for them. I mean, if you really get into the nitty-gritty of the ZCC, they are given land, they are favored everywhere, so they're also in the pockets of the ANC.
So what the ANC worked on since 1994 is to control the levers of power, right? And they have their, we talk about state capture.
Yes.
And because of catered deployment. But if you actually look at their policy, it's to capture everything, including the church. And so what they did is they did a quick carrot and stick as far as land and being able to set up and being able to build and being able to find a place. They set it up so early. And so that's why the national dialogue is supposed to be their next opportunity to go capture society again. Because they believe they must control society and society must, run under them.
Yes.
Like you say, it's communism mentality. And so, unfortunately, what happened is most of the church didn't see it when they were getting captured. And now the church only speaks as far as corruption, right? We don't need the church.
Or gender-based violence. I see them raising the issue that has to be raised, but let's ignore all the others.
Yeah, it's like, come on, man. We don't need the church for corruption.
Yes.
I mean, there's no confusion about don't steal 500 million from a fund meant to do something.
Yes.
Even the Satanists will join that march, right? I mean, there's no one's going to be going, no, corruption is fine.
Yes.
And now we the light by complaining about corruption. But I think what I would say to the church is we really have to be loyal to our calling and never put the gospel aside because now you're talking politics because you just can't do that. And I often also hear people talking about the black church, the white church, and what is the black church? Who's Lord Black, right?
Yes.
Because there's only a church of the Lord Jesus Christ.
Yes.
And what then happens is, if I start speaking, I'll have a lot of people of my age, of my class, if we can use that, coming through, right? So I actually don't care how many, because this whole concept of quotas as well is a communist thing.
Yeah.
Because in real life it doesn't work like that, does it?
No.
Right? If we bring 20 families to come visit you here, right?
Yes.
And nobody says anything, in an hour all the kids will be playing together.
Yes.
They don't hate the adults.
Yes.
It's just they have certain things. They understand each other.
Yes.
And I think even these quota things, it's about control.
Yes.
I have no problem with 100% white-owned, white employee, white whatever company, as long as they'll pay taxes and
of course
give us good products. And And equally, if I end up with black employees, it's just, we've been so brainwashed with this communist control thing.
Yes.
That tells us to find problems where there aren't any.
Yes, yes.
For instance, I expect that the day I'm watching swimming and clapping because South Africa won, I hope that's a white person there. Because if it's a black person, we're not going to win swimming. Right?
For sure.
But equally, if you watch soccer, you'll find many more black people in soccer.
Yes.
And it depends on the type of sports. And rugby will go across because the culture has developed like that.
Yes.
But even with rugby, every rugby star will be a Xhosa guy.
Yes.
And I'm Swati.
Yes.
But I'll still scream for Siya Kolisi, right?
Yes.
Because somehow down there, they had more to do with rugby.
Yes.
Just because of how the history happened. And I think all of these quota things are just nonsense.
It's going to destroy business.
And the church, and anything else. Because as soon as you don't pick people for what matters.
Yes.
Because, when Paul was speaking to Timothy, he forgot race, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like obviously I got a lot of comments to say, your band is white. Okay, so I must bring BEE in the church. So I must now put a black person on there because you say so.
Yeah.
Not because the Holy Spirit says so.
Yeah.
No, we're waiting on skill. And I think what South Africa made a mistake. South Africa is one of the only countries that's pushing for no segregation. What I mean by segregation, I want to be very careful, is not racism, but cultures to celebrate one another, their own cultures. So they're forcing this diverse country to live all together.
Yeah.
And it's going to cause friction.
Yeah.
I think that if you look at America, federalism a bit to a degree, if you look at how South Africa could have been, and I heard that was the intention of apartheid before they went quotas and races and removing opportunities, I heard that was the intention. I didn't study it, but is that, let's say, majority of Zulus will live in KwaZulu-Natal, and if they want to embrace their culture, they're there, but they can work together. But it's just there's that freedom of movement and freedom where we can say, okay, if I enjoy being with my culture, I'm not a racist. And I think South Africa, because of the whole reconciliation thing of 1994 and what South Africa stands for out there in the globe, which we know it's not the truth, but South Africa had a name of reconciliation, forgiveness because of Mandela. But we know that was a lie to the world. It was not really here. But I think they're forcing people to live together, cultures, and it's causing a lot of problems because now racism begins to come in and say, okay, look at how that culture is living, and because there's friction, but I think that is a big problem. I think that maybe we're going to see small towns coming up. We're going to see like segregated enclaves. I don't know if South Africa will allow it. I don't know if it is going to go that way by force, and it's not healthy to do it. Enclave, I think, is a response that is an extreme. But if they would have just let it be natural in the beginning, I think we would have had. And I'm not speaking of removing opportunities. I'm speaking of everybody still mixed, but there's not that forcing of, cultures are different. Cultures are more happier among themselves. I go to church, and even if we do socials, it doesn't matter how I preach against racism, because segregation is not racism. We'll have a whole bride day. You'll have everybody's mixing together, but then you'll see drifting apart. Blacks will sit with blacks, coloureds will sit with coloureds, because that's their culture. But we don't see it as racism. We're still walking around, but it's just this automatic drawing.
No, when you leave people alone, people will.
They will draw.
They will connect somewhere.
Yes.
But then they'll connect with everyone else.
Yes.
As well.
And also, I know that obviously coming into the kingdom, that kingdom, the kingdom of God is first above culture. Yeah, and I think a lot of people want to put culture above the gospel and say my culture speaks louder. I can do it because of my culture. No, we have a new culture. It's heaven's culture.
And culture is always changing as well.
Yes.
So, as well, but you know, it is really sad because and so our constitution allows people to set up anywhere.
Yes.
And that's why we have like and it's funny because we know Orania, but we don't know some of the other cultural villages because no one goes and marches there.
Yes. Yes.
And also we don't know the not so wealthy ones.
Yes.
Right? Because there's like Klein-Fontaine, but there's another place.
I know Klein-Fontaine is a bit less wealthier than Orania.
Yeah.
And then there's another place, yeah.
But there's one in Pretoria that's not wealthy at all.
Sure.
And it's run like Klein-Fontaine. And it's white people only there.
Yes.
And it's got a leader who decides if you can come in and out.
Wow.
But no one's going to march there because there's nothing you want there. Right? Because it's just politics of envy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not even like they're forcing anyone to live together. It's just politics of envy.
Yes.
It's just, oh no, but now, so you know, when you start the place, no one will march there. And then you build it up nicely, and then your trees will grow, and then it looks beautiful and it's clean.
Streets are clean now.
And then someone will say it's racist to live there.
Yes. Yes.
I used one video one time about a guy who said, I can explain critical race theory in one line. Call it racist until you control it.
Sure.
Right? That's what BE is.
Yes.
BE is business is racist, and then they control it.
Yeah.
And then they say land is racist.
Until
and
we have
then
it.
who has all the land?
Yes.
The comrades.
Yes.
And have they ever given it to anyone? No.
Yeah.
And what did they do next? They say, you see, people don't have the land. The land is right because they want to control all the land.
So I saw this clip in Africa. There was a camera, and the guy says, corruption is very bad. It's very, very bad. It's only bad if I'm not in it.
Exactly.
If I'm not bit of it.
Exactly. No, exactly.
Yeah.
That's why we have right now we have the EFF calling out ANC corruption.
Yes.
It's because they left out, right?
Yes.
As soon as they come in, they'll be like
Then they're benefiting again.
silence. Yeah.
So just one last question. Where do you see the economy going?
The economy is either going to hell or so I think it's going to go down, which I think we need. And you don't want it to go too far, but you need it to go down enough for people to wake up, because sometimes people need. But I hope that when it reaches that place, there would have been enough voices. And I'm very happy because one of the awesome things that's happened in South Africa is especially black voices, common sense voices. And the reason why you need black voices is not because it matters in fact, but it's because it matters to them, the Marxists.
Of course.
Now, and because it's literally, it's their firstborn. Remember when Egypt had to leave? The last plague was the killing of the firstborn.
Yes.
See, the firstborn of the ANC pharaoh is black. That's what gives them a future.
Yes.
If they can say, we stand for black.
Yes.
And once enough black voices, which is happening right now, are going, no, you don't stand for me.
Yes.
And they may be ignoring it, but it weakens their lie and their tactic. And so I think because of that, I think the economy will turn around and it'll go common sense, and there'll be enough people. ANC's gone. The EFF took a knock. I hope they stay right there, maximum 9%. But I think it will turn around. But there will be drama first. there will be drama. You remember when a demon comes out, the drama of the demon coming out is often linked to how long and how deep it goes, right? So someone that just kind of played around with a little evil last week, there's probably not going to be much drama in casting that one out, right? This is and gone. Oh, I feel free.
Yes.
Okay. And then, but now if someone is, comes from 3 generations of witches and whatever,
it's more.
You're probably going to have some drama.
Yes.
So what we need, what South Africa is dealing with is deliverance from the Marxist ideology, and so there's got to be drama. It is on the way out, but there will be drama.
Sure, I love it. Deliverance from the Marxist ideology.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to have a lot of people attacking you. But that's what we need. No, you're absolutely right. Because that ideology becomes a belief system. And demons attach themselves to a belief system that's a lie.
Yeah.
That's how strongholds are built up.
Yeah. And they love places. They love places too. Like that man he said, don't cast us out of the place.
Yes.
So I think South Africa will be the first African country, not first, but important one, to be fully delivered from this devil, because also the young kids that are coming up don't buy it, and
that's true.
And so the stronghold's gonna.
Are there black voices that are speaking out, or do you know of any apart from yourself?
Yeah, plenty.
Is it okay?
Plenty.
I don't see a lot. I mean, I know yourself. I think I saw Kule. Is his name Kule?
Guhle Mabaso Maseko
and Summer. You know, as I know
the Summer Sambit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Obviously, still a young guy.
Yeah, very young.
Which is important.
Yeah. No, you have a lot of common sense guys. So there's.
Okay.
I think the biggest channel right now is what's her name? Citizen Concerned.
Yes.
You have Citizen Concerned. There's a guy, 360 Experience.
Yeah, I saw 360 Experience.
Thomas Mabaso. And there are a whole lot of... There's a bubbling that's coming up.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think as soon as you have enough of those, that's it. Country turns. Yeah.
Because I was disappointed. I think I saw Rob on a thing with DJ Sabu and Peñol or Nota. Either Peñol or Nota. I think it was Peñol.
Yeah.
Peñol and DJ Sabu. And, and he was speaking about BEE. And, and DJ Sabu was just he's like, no. He says, we need it longer in. It hasn't done its work yet.
Yeah.
But it's like this ideology just came over him.
Yeah.
It's, his eyes changed, his face changed. The moment you wanted to touch on that thing.
Yeah.
And
precious.
Yeah.
No.
And it's probably not even benefiting them at this point. Or maybe. Yeah.
I can't say much.
No, for sure.
So but then they've never been common sense. They've been very.
Obviously, you don't want to lose something that's benefiting you. So
no, absolutely. And
is there, in your view, an answer to addressing the past or not? Meaning, should we redress or not? Because I've even gone.
We should address the past. The past 30 years.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah,
but
we need to redress the ANC mess.
If we look at, like, let's say apartheid, where I've even compromised and said, look, I think there could have been a better system if they believe in redressing. For example, a reparation, give a reparation tax, give a break on a tax, for example, those who were disadvantaged, if we can call it like that. Let them pay 35 instead of 45 tax, instead of cutting opportunities for others. Because Cyril keeps saying equality, and the word equality makes my hair stand up, because like these guys just rephrased the whole meaning of the word.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen that. It's those who are under their ideology, They have just changed the meaning of the word equality,
Yeah.
you know. And Cyril is saying no one is equal. What do you mean by no one is equal? Cyril, do you want them all billionaires or do you want everyone poor?
Yeah.
You know. But where does equality
And
come
let's
in?
start by spreading your billions, right?
Yes.
Because it's funny, we never start by. Why don't we distribute some of Cyril's billions?
Yes.
I mean, he's got billions by himself, while
Yes.
our people are stuff. No, so I think. So I believe in compassionate free markets, right? And so we have what we have. So the negotiation led up to our constitution. So our constitution does talk about redress because, of course, they were negotiating with comrades. And you can see what part of the constitution was coming from the communists, right?
Yes.
The Marxists.
Yes.
I like communists because it sounds more insulting. Okay. So it was coming from the Marxist guys. And so it is in our, you know, so, but I think it's very simple. It's this. Redress costs money.
Yeah.
So
Doesn't make money right now. Yeah.
it costs money because
Yeah.
to do anything, to try balance anything costs money.
Yes.
So for me, as long as you put the distribution second to leaving us alone, who are trying to make you guys rich,
Yes.
because most of us know how to go out there and make stuff happen.
Yes.
In fact, most people just feel wonderful having a dream, chasing it, and watching it come to pass.
Yes.
And the government should be helping people who can't help themselves.
Yes.
I have no problem with retirees getting 20
Obviously.
grand a month. I have no problem with disabled getting 20 grand a month.
Yes.
And anyone who's in need, I would rather, hey, put them on a full-time salary. I don't care. And the rest of us actually don't need government intervention. We just need jobs with mobility.
Yes.
And this whole address the past is a scam.
Pyramid scheme. That's true. No, it is.
It's a scam.
Going to the top.
It's nonsense. You can't ever address the past. Like, well, you can if you have a time machine.
Yes.
Then sure, go ahead. You know,
Yes.
get in your time machine and go address the past. It's a scam.
Because how do you fix the
can
injustices of the past? Who determines the injustices? Who
never.
determines
And like, what
when it
is
is fixed?
What is even that? Yeah, and it's like,
Is that when every white person is out? Is it then fixed?
Exactly.
Or everyone is poor? Is it then fixed? You know?
no, it's a scam because it's like, let's fix the injustices of the past, and I need to be in charge of
Yes.
fixing the injustices of the past. Okay, cool. Bring all the money past me, and often people speak of how things have gone wrong in the country. Nothing has gone wrong, right? When Judas got 30 pieces of silver and Jesus got crucified, as far as Judas's side is
Yes,
concerned,
yes.
nothing went wrong.
Yes.
Right? He's because this Marxism is just the Judas spirit. You remember how when he was getting anointed, and then Judas said, "Oh, this money could have gone to the poor."
Yeah.
And then it says he didn't say that because he cared for the poor.
Yes.
He wanted that.
Yes.
So
He wanted
nothing
the
has
money.
gone wrong in the country.
Sure, that's true.
The ANC has never cared about
The poor.
EFF has never cared
People
about
have to understand
the
that
poor.
when you come out of poverty, okay, let's say some of the officials in the ANC has come out of it. When you come out of that lifestyle, I know people can start with a silver spoon, and no. I wish my family did not leave me in debt, which they did. You know?
Yeah.
So I had to take care of my family. I was on the street. You know, when my father passed away, he didn't leave us anything, literally nothing,
Wow.
in debt. So I had to make moves. I had no job.
Yeah.
Well, I was in ministry. I mean, I was training in ministry. There's no money in
Of
there.
course.
So we had to build ourselves up. But somebody coming out of extreme poverty when they see a breakthrough, they only end it for themselves. They want themselves, and that's where the ANC is.
Yeah.
They're not there to look after the masses. If they were, the masses would now, we would have low poverty levels. Most will have houses.
Yeah.
With the money that they've stolen.
Yeah.
That's what could have been done.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I mean, if they just built one factory for every 1 billion they stole, we'd have 0%.
Yes. Yes.
And of course, they're not supposed to build it. So,
yeah.
And you know what's the issue with Marxism and why there's that thing of philosophy and then faith. So, Marxism believes that men are not selfish. So it actually, because it's atheist, it says there's no such a thing as sin. So we plan our society with the thinking that we can trust Julius Malema with all the land, and he will be so generous and kind to split it equally before us, right? And it's like, no, people aren't like that.
Yeah.
So the corruption that's happening in the country is also not a shock. People will steal when they see too much money before them. And so why you set up free markets is because you spread the power around.
Yes.
And you give freedom to everybody.
Yes.
And none of us can do enough damage to
topple the system.
To someone else.
Yes.
And this whole thing where they go, yeah, but we must take the land. It's like, cool, let's take the land. All right, cool. So we've got you who has the idea to take the land. All right, and then we have to have a minister of land taking, and then we have to have a DG of land taking,
deputy minister of land taking,
and another deputy, and then we must have the whole department with 1,000 people.
It's more jobs for people.
And then we've got to have the local offices. All right, and so you were saying between you at the top and these 1,000 people, and to the one who must get the small piece of land, everybody's honest.
Yes, yes.
And everybody will just do what you thought. And it's like, but that's not human beings. It doesn't work like that. No, that's why we leave it with everybody.
Yes, yes.
To be free, because I can at least convince you, right, to give me a piece of the land.
Right. Yes, yes.
And if I can't afford the land, I say no, but I'll protect you when you passing there.
Yes, yes.
And we can make a deal, and I can get a piece.
Yeah.
And I've just got you to deal with. And if you say no, well, I'll go to them.
Yes,
If they say no, I'll go to them. So I already have 3 chances of success.
Yes.
Rather than 1 chance of guaranteed failure.
Yeah.
And so this whole Marxist thing, it's because it doesn't believe there's a God. And therefore, it doesn't believe there's human failing that needs a God. And it literally, how dumb are you to think if you gave Cyril power over all business, he's actually going to pass anything on to you? What he's done is absolutely normal.
Yes,
You would have done it too.
It's the same.
I wouldn't be in government because I don't believe in their system. But if I was in government,
look, I
my
said the
kids
same
would
thing.
be billionaires
I'm
too.
not caring with them enriching them. I really don't. You know, it's a business. Opportunities come. You know, even if they don't take a deal, they can have connections and opportunity to make their family rich, and they're going to look. Each one is going to look out for their family, but make the country operational,
but
make
don't
the country
block us.
functional, and don't block us.
Yeah.
Because you know, I heard somebody saying, I watched the interview last night. I can't remember who it was now, and it was this captured News Africa room, newsroom.
Oh, Newsroom Africa.
So the guy said, I think it's more the guy on SABC, but they captured, they talk with propaganda talk. But they said this, they said, because they're now upset, they're all now shocked, why is Trump sanctioning the ANC members?
Oh, yes,
and
they don't know why.
They don't know why.
Yeah.
Okay, it's
He's
all
just
a wonder.
attacking us.
Yeah. So And then they say, but if Trump can just understand that BEE is not against whites, because there is actually white people allowed in the BEE structure. He said it is for the benefit, a white woman is allowed. And you go, no, white woman has been removed. As far as I know, the new one that has been set up, it's not included there. And they say there's some other white people that are allowed to. I'm like, what white people are allowed in there?
Yeah.
But it's the news. It's propaganda, and it's ridiculous.
BEE only allows comrades. Period.
That's right.
Yeah, and so I had a okay, so I knew someone in the ANC who had directorships for Africa, but he was compliance director in like many companies. So because they passed BEE, employment equity and all of that, and it's like 613 commandments, right? It's like no one can keep them and run a successful business. So the point of BEE is not for anyone to keep it, but it's for it to become impossible to keep, because then you just need a comrade on your board.
So you need to pay them
for protection. Because no one can. I mean, it's ridiculous to give me a quota and say, hire people like this and still be profitable.
Yes.
I don't have time for that.
Yes,
I've got clients, I've got staff issues.
Yes.
And so, but they know then it's, so BEE is good for black comrades.
God bless. Yes.
So it's the way that they taking over.
And I love what you said, BEE is a scam. It's a scam.
It's a complete scam. It's nonsense. And I speak as an entrepreneur.
Yes.
So I'm not talking as a politician on the outside. I've been in there. I have been asked to bring 2 million rands in a suitcase so that I can get mining rights.
Yes.
And my family said, keep your, I'm still saying.
Yes.
So keep your mining rights. And
yes.
I've been there. I've seen the suitcases go across with entrepreneurs I've worked with. And then I said, listen, that's as far as I can bring you. You're no longer a business. I like businesses.
Yes.
Not criminals.
Yeah.
So BEE is a scam. And I challenge anyone watching this video to comment with one honest BEE deal, one honest tender. Tell me the name of the tender, the name of the company. I will pay you 1,000 rands. Just put it on the comments, name of the tender, whatever, and just write honest next to it. I owe you 1,000 rands. This is out in public.
Yes.
I will pay it. I'll transfer it. And I'll keep that 1,000.
Sure. Well, thank you so much, Pastor Bonsai. Don't know if I should call you Pastor Bonsai or Bonsai, but I know you're known as Bonsai on Bonsai Shongwe on YouTube. Yeah. And guys, listen, please go subscribe. Your channel is just Bonsai Shongwe.
Bonsai Shongwe with an S.
We'll put with a S, Shongwe with a S. We will put, and Bonsai with a S. We will put the link in the description below. It'll also be in the comment section for you. And I want you guys to go follow, subscribe. And you say your channel's new, only 3 months. It's growing well.
3 months, yeah.
It's growing very well, though.
God's been good. It's growing at 10,000 subscribers per month. That's how I know how many months, because we on 39,000. So it's 4 months now.
Okay. Yeah. That's really good. So you guys, please go subscribe there. Very interesting. And we need more people on these political commentary channels. Yeah. We need it to be spreading.
And black voices must stop being afraid, because I was scared to speak for 2 years. So come guys, say something.
Sure. Yeah. Awesome. Thanks so much, Bonsai, for coming on.
It's really been such a pleasure. It was so much fun. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Thanks, guys.